You are now listening to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio. My name is John Sargent.
And my name is Christian McGann.
And this is the place where we talk about action figures, collectibles, toys, and all that sort of thing. So if that's what you're interested in, you have come to the right place. We have got a hot one for you today. It's the Halloween special. It's Mighty Champions Scared Stupid.
Amazing.
We are going...
Please tell me you wrote that down.
I didn't. That was off the dome. We are going to bring back the toy line Resurrection, only this time it's spooky. We're also going to bring back the Mission Report, Halloween style. Of course, we've got your action figure news for the week. We're going to go over our weekly purchases and all that sort of thing. Before we get into all that, make sure you're subscribed to the show. Wherever you're hearing our voices, you can just hit that subscribe button. While you're doing that, it would be much appreciated if you could leave us a review. If you're on Apple, scroll to the bottom of the feed. You'll see the stars. Tap the 5. If you're on Spotify, hit the 3 dots. That'll bring up your option to review. Reviews help us grow, and we're trying to spread like wildfire. The bigger the show gets, the more likely it is that we can do videos and group toy hunts and all that sort of stuff that we're trying to do with you guys. Whatnot sales, all that sort of thing, because we want to hang out with you guys and give you more content and give you more toy fun. So if you hit that review button, it makes that stuff more possible, and we sure would appreciate it. That gets all the admin out of the way. Christian, you and I have spent our week together, but we really have not talked about toys one bit. How's your life been?
Oh, it's been good. I haven't had any toy purchases because honestly, this week just feels like it was like one long day. And so I haven't had a chance to even go check around. I've been meaning to hit up some Ross's, go check some Target clearance, because if you tuned into last week's episode, I talk about Jurassic Park and just wanting to buy dinosaurs.
You just like dinosaurs.
I just like dinosaurs. And going in there, and I think finding those clearance racks, probably will get the new minfig, the Dennis Nedry, if I see it again on clearance. Okay. So I think that's the goal. So I got a little bit of time later on this evening. Probably try to go hit up a Target, see if I can snag something. But other than that, man, it's just been one heck of a week. We got a show. I'm in a band called Virtue, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time. But we have a show tomorrow night. So it's weird, like, getting back into show mode.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's like playing baseball. Baseball, you just hope something good happens. But it's weird because it's like you're performing, right? Stepping on stage, it's like you can kind of just control every component. Like, there's so much, like, I definitely get nervous before a big gig. Like, before the show starts, like, I'm like, my stomach is like a dryer with a freaking brick in it. You know what I'm saying? I usually have to kind of disappear for a second and kind of hype myself up or get really fired up. And so that'll be a good time. It's a hardcore band. So, you know, the vocals are like what the Gen Pop would refer to as like Cookie Monster style vocals, which is what I do. So coming back into that is always unique because, you know, some of our shows have been spread out. So I don't practice that. Yeah. I don't do it in the car.
It tears you up when you haven't done it in a while.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, I'm always nervous like as soon as I start going. But for some reason this time around, it was like, man, this is the best they've sounded in a minute. So not really sure what happened on that end. But that's kind of what I've been up to this week, man. How about you? Well, first of all, let me crack this Coke Zero live on television.
Yeah, why don't we both get into a CZ? Cheers, buddy.
Let's go.
Let's talk toys. I had an interesting week. It was both slow and fast.
I was like, please don't say anything funny. I thought you were going to say something. I'm going to spit it everywhere.
I had, you know, the first couple of days of the week, I still didn't have a car, so I was about to say that was limiting me from toy hunting. It didn't. I still went to...
Yeah, I thought I saw you walking on the side of the street with a staff and a hood on.
I still went to Ross and Walmart. I went to basically anything that was in reasonable walking distance still. And then I had a heavy work week, so I had a light martial arts week because of that. But I was still in... once I got my car back, I was at Targets and Walmarts. I was in a Target and Walmart today. I actually got you something.
Crazy.
We'll talk about that in just a second. But okay. I came up with a story today
Okay.
Not 30 minutes before you got here to record. I thought, you know what, I got a little bit of extra time. I got a 0 on the board as far as purchases this week for myself. Let me hit Target, Walmart, see if I can find anything. So went Target, zip, went to Walmart. I round the corner for the toy section. There's a child in my way. Ew.
Pummel him.
Child is with his mom.
Okay. And
grandma is trailing behind them. And grandma's a big lady, and she's in my lane. Right? If everyone's walking on the right hand side, she's in my lane.
Which is that's John lingo for move or get.
So she does move. She does scoot over into her lane, but she's gawking at me, not looking at me. Gawking at me. Her mouth is wide open, and she's looking at my hat. I'm wearing an NWO hat with sunglasses on the top. And then as I see her looking at me, because at this point we could kiss if I wanted to. We're that close. And she's got a pink girl's microphone in her hand, and as I'm going by her, she holds it up to my throat like a knife. And I just stopped and looked at her. I didn't say a word, but the look on my face was, WTF. What is going on right now? And then she just looks away. And I just passed her and we didn't exchange a word. But she held a microphone to my throat like a knife. Like she threatened me with it.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
We need to go get footage, like the security footage, to figure out what happened.
I have no explanation. And I hated everyone in there, and I came out with nothing, and it was horrible. And I hate Walmart, and I hate all the toy companies that have exclusives with Walmart that make me keep having to go to Walmart.
She put a microphone up to you. I mean, I thought maybe she was going to, joke around and say, hey, you want to say something? But
I was expecting the other shoe to drop. I thought there was a joke, a comment, just a weirdness that was followed by some sort of joke that I didn't, nothing.
Do you think that if this weren't at the end of the week, of a long work week, do you think if it were Monday, you would have had a little joke in the back pocket to riff off of?
If I had more mental energy, I would have had something to say to her. I would have turned it into a funny experience. It wasn't. It was.
Did the daughter and grandkid?
They weren't looking. They didn't see it.
When we first began this podcast, we talked about the segments that we're going to be on here. And I was like, we need to have a segment called John Versus.
Yeah, I'm a magnet for the weirdest stuff.
I don't think we've ever put it out yet.
I don't think we've really talked about it.
This is the first time we come out with it. This is John Versus. Yeah. And initially the Versus was the 4'11", not even 4'9", maybe, little old lady that checks your receipt as you're leaving Walmart. So John, that's one of John's arch nemesis. So if you have a comic book,
that lady is my enemy
of John's life. She's one of the rogues gallery, right? So now we have a new one.
Yeah. She's one receipt check away from a kick to the chops.
That is.
But yeah, this lady, I don't know what that was. I don't know if she thought she recognized me or what.
Or stay away from my family.
It was weird. But on a lighter note, earlier in the week, I went to Target. I picked you up something. Here's the caveat.
Okay.
You have to unbox it live on show.
Please and thank you. Okay, here we go. So exactly what I talked about 2.5 minutes ago.
We got the Dennis Nedry with Velociraptor.
Oh, dude, dropped down even further.
$7 on clearance at Target.
2 weeks ago, it was $12. Yeah. Not even 2 weeks ago. Last week, it was $12. So, man, check your targets, dude.
Cheaper now. I don't have something sharp for you.
Should I open it right now?
Yeah,
let's do it right now.
You need this for your Seinfeld collection. You need it for your Jurassic Park collection. You need it because you don't have any '90s Kenner stuff.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying? And
I don't.
It's not Kenner, but it's Kenner.
Right, exactly. All right, let's see here. Bunch of stuff spilling out.
The floor.
The pretty sick looking Raptor. So, man, that is awesome looking. All right, we're gonna see. We got some bags here.
So the raptor's like kind of red on top. I don't remember in the original Jurassic Park they don't have any prime colors.
No,
but
they're all
when you get to the Lost World, then they start having colors to them and feathers also.
No, I think is it Lost World? I thought it was Jurassic Park 3.
By Lost World, and then by the time you get to Jurassic World, there's one called Blue.
Okay, so I just pulled out the figure.
Okay.
This is one of the most insane. I wish there was a video right now. This is one of the most insane. Like conceptually, if I just showed this to somebody that wasn't a toy fan, you wouldn't know it's Jurassic Park. And first of all, he's jacked, which is hilarious. But he's got the same head. Okay,
He's got a fat head, jacked
Please.
body. Yeah, let me see this.
Look at that.
Holy so it's a 3 3/4. It's pretty much the same body, like articulation, as those little Marvel figures that we have on the desk at work.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it has Newman's like real like obese face with like super jacked arms and like a Rob Layfield amount of tactical patches.
Yeah.
And like boot, like this never took
He's
place.
smiling also. He's got a smile on his face, which is crazy.
Okay, we'll get some pictures of this.
I'm going to get some photos of that
Follow
for sure.
us on Instagram at Mighty Champions. We're going to get some really good pictures of this. This is one of the funniest figures I've ever seen.
So it's a the reproduction of the old Kenner line from Mattel.
Yeah.
So I can guarantee you they probably were just laughing at this toy when they were making it.
And also his glasses are built into his head.
So what's funny is I'm looking at this toy and they really don't have a close-up of his face, so we didn't know he was smiling.
Oh my god, this is
Which is hilarious. So I just opened up the other packages here. We got like a flamethrower, which he never used once. Little rocket launcher or something like that action.
Oh my god.
I think I got the motorcycle here. Let's see. Oh, that's actually pretty sick. Dude, this motorcycle, for some reason, is like blowing my mind because it's got to be something that I had when I was younger.
That's giving me G.I. Joe Tiger Force.
Yeah, that's actually sick, man.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So definitely going to display him. I think there's... If only I could get the other Seinfeld cast in dinosaur.
In jacked form.
In jacked form. That is crazy.
You might be able to piece together some kind of like custom Seinfeld cast.
I would love that.
In this scale of jacked version.
Just look at this figure.
That's very.
If I just explained to anybody he's on a motorcycle.
From this distance, looks incredible. When you look up close and see that is a 100% replication of Dennis Knight's face. Hilarious.
Wayne Knight. Yeah. He looks like a guy that would go to our gym, to be honest. Well, thank you for that, dude. That is freaking awesome. This one I'm going to have to use some scissors, but holy crap. So, all right.
You just like dinosaurs.
Dude, I just like dinosaurs, man. Holy crap.
All right. Should we get into resurrecting toy lines?
I think before we do that, let's get into some Halloween stuff.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Tis the season.
Tis the season for some Halloween. I really haven't felt too much Halloween right now, only because I feel like
it's 95 degrees in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the bigger
Dude,
reasons.
You never met a bigger Halloween season fan than me. You might as well see me when I'm in Target with my purse in one hand and a PSL in my other hand because I love fall.
Yes.
But it has to do with Halloween, football, wearing a hoodie. Like, it's not the same reasons as the girls who are accidentally dressed like Han Solo.
Yeah.
But it's 95 degrees, and it just doesn't feel like it yet for me. I still have been powering through a bunch of horror movies, but I'm not in the vibe.
You know what, though? I will say, looking at the weather for next week, it looks like, because it's on a Friday. Halloween's on a Friday. Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. Hadn't happened in a minute.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 49 degrees. So,
okay.
You know, a cold Halloween is going to be nice, but what did you dress up as when you were younger?
Oh, dude, I got stories.
I know we've never talked about
I got stories. So when I was like little, I remember when you were a kid, did they have the like 99-cent just piece of plastic with a thin string around it costumes? And like the body was just basically a bag painted like a character. Do you even know what I'm talking about?
No.
I remember doing Hulk Hogan, right? And it's just the mask is like not even person face shaped.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a piece of plastic painted to look like the person, 2 holes and a slit for the mouth, and a small nylon string to hold it on. Like the minimal definition of a mask. And that was the most common costume that you would see when I was a kid because it was so cheap.
Wow.
And it could be anything, right?
Yeah.
It was.
Maybe I have seen that, but 99 cents or something?
They were real cheap. Like the mask was like 99 cents. I don't know about the bag costume part of it, but I definitely did Hulk Hogan one year as that when I was like real little. I think Ghostbusters. But the first like costume that I put any time and effort into was Jason Voorhees.
Which was how old?
I want to say like 12.
Okay.
Like 11, 12. It might have been my last time trick-or-treating.
So you did the 99-cent costume basically every year up until that year.
If I did it at all, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that I can recall anyways. So the Jason Voorhees one, like just a hockey mask, not a Jason Voorhees hockey mask, just a hockey mask. And I got the red marker out, put some blood on it. And then you can't really describe what Jason Voorhees wears from the neck down because it's different in every movie.
Yeah.
And it's sort of just nondescript. So I just got like a sweatsuit that I had that was like gray and maroon.
Okay.
And I just kind of tore it up a little bit and then took the red marker and drew around the tears around it.
Bleeding.
So basically it just looked like a hockey player out jogging that got hit by a car.
Cool.
So, yeah, I don't know. I had kind of parents that weren't really like involved, so I don't really have a lot of like costume stories as a kid. Definitely as an adult that are not appropriate for the podcast, but like not a lot of the trick or treating ones. I get the sense that you do.
I mean, I definitely did. So when I don't remember if I ever dressed up when I was younger. I grew up in church, so Halloween really wasn't celebrated too much because it was always like for us, the church was doing its own thing, which was like the fall festival, okay, which was unbelievably amazing but I didn't know anything else. I didn't trick or treat until I was probably like 14. So I did it. Yes, I've never been trick or treating until I was 14 years old, and of course I was too old to do it. So I didn't really get to like.
How much did you weigh at 14? I'm just imagining opening my door and what appears to be a grown man standing there.
Yeah, so actually, I've been to the doctor probably 7 times in my entire life. If that. I can count on one hand, most likely. The last time I went to the first time that I remember going to the doctor, I was 14 years old, and I stepped on the scale, and it said 195 pounds, which, that's a big boy right there.
Were you tall?
I was probably like, I wasn't 6 foot yet.
But
I was probably like
tall-ish.
5'7" maybe at the time.
Okay.
I don't know.
You could pass for a grown man.
Probably. And I remember being like, I was kind of a hypochondriac at the time, so I thought like he was just going to be like, he's sick, he needs to go spend like his life in the hospital or whatever. And then I get like this form back that he fills out, and I look at it, and it says healthy, and I was like, oh. And then I see one other thing out of like 2,000 diagnosis.
Diagnosi?
I don't know. But it says healthy, and then the other one that was checked was obese, and I was like, son of a.
That sounds like Texas.
Anyway, pretty funny. So anyway, so 195, probably 200 at that time with the Halloween candy rocking. But yeah, so that was the first time ever going trick or treating. But when I was younger, during the fall festival, the first sentient costume I had was Colt from Three Ninjas. Okay, so the middle one, except I wasn't wearing his costume. I didn't have the blue mask or whatever. I just said I'm Colt, and basically I did that for probably like 4 years straight.
Awesome.
So I was just Colt from Three Ninjas.
Awesome.
And then after that, I became Wolverine, and I made my own Wolverine claws by buying a pair of gloves, cutting the fingertips off, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
And then
extra toughness.
Yes, exactly. Taking a shoebox, cutting out the claws, so cutting them out of cardboard, wrapping them in aluminum foil, like smoothing them out, very shiny, and then taping it to the gloves. They looked freaking amazing.
Sounds awesome.
I did that another time when I was older because I was like, oh, it's Halloween. I didn't really dress up. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm going to put something on. And I wore like a red hoodie. Didn't do anything. I think I like flipped my hair up like Wolverine. That was it. I didn't really have the costume other than the gloves. I go over to the fall festival, and then like there's this dude there who's just like always annoying. In fact, like I want to see him right now so I can tower above him and just be like, hey, you know what, man? Payback. So he was like, who are you supposed to be? Freddy Krueger or whatever? And I was like, I'm obviously Wolverine, you idiot. And then I was wearing like skinny jeans at the time, and he's like, are those your sister's pants? And I was like, no, they're your sister's pants. And so I felt pretty good about that. But yeah, so that was my Halloween.
So what's your relationship with horror movies though? Because I know you weren't allowed to watch scary stuff, bad stuff, horror stuff. You weren't allowed to see Mary Jane's nipples through her shirt. You weren't. So where do you sneak in like the first horror movie?
I mean, to give you guys an example again.
I'm gonna guess you've never seen a Michael Myers movie.
I have. I will get to that. I will get to that. So I love this story because it was one of the. I may have even told this on the podcast before, but it has to do somewhat with horror. You've never seen Lord of the Rings, right?
I have, yeah.
Oh, you have? Okay. Have you seen the Two Towers?
Yeah, I've seen all three.
Okay. So in the Two Towers, they are walking through the dead marshes. And that Peter Jackson is a horror director.
Yeah, he made Basket Case.
He made that. He made something. I don't know. And there's like a zombie movie that he made that's like one of the most gory things ever, right? The scene in the marshes, the dead marshes, is one of them. Like it's actually horrifying, right? And I'm sitting there with my friends. We have a huge group with us or whatever, like a bunch of homeschooled losers. and like the scene comes on where like Frodo's looking in the marsh and he sees a pair of eyes open, right? He sees the body laying in there. It opens up and looks at him. He falls into the water. There's a bunch of spirits flying around or whatever, like swimming around in the water. And my mom is 2 or 3 rows behind me, and she's essentially reaching over those 2 rows of people out loud in the theater and say, Christian, close your eyes. And never have I opened my eyes harder in my life. I may as well have held my eyes open because
Binoculars.
I just ignored her, and I was like, why would you do that to me? So anyway, but yeah, I never really watched horror movies until later. Like when we got cable for the first time. I sound like I'm Amish. I'm not Amish, okay? I didn't grow up in an Amish life. And my parents really weren't that strict. It was just like, it was the 90s, late 90s, and then early 2000s. So all the Christian families and stuff like that, it was homeschooling.
Your mom, I don't want to get in a fight. I'm not talking crap about your mom. But what you've described to me about your mom, she's the type of person that is the reason why Michelangelo uses sausages instead of nunchucks in Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze.
Oh my god.
She's out there crusading against the violence.
It was weird because it was like it really wasn't that strict, but it was at the same, it was just strict about the most random things.
Yeah.
And
sheltered.
Yeah, you're sheltered. Like, she didn't want me to see something scary because I have a very vivid imagination, right?
Yeah.
Very good imagination, which means that your fear that you experience is tenfold.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had just a crazy imagination where I'm getting scared about everything. Yeah. So, at the time, I am, we're watching not a ton of horror stuff ever. The scariest movie that I was seeing at the time was probably, like I said, Ants, where they had like the war between.
What a statement! The scariest movie that I saw was Ants.
Hey, I know there's people in here right now that probably are in the same age group. If you saw Ants at that time, please reassure me, because there's a scene where there's they fight like termites and they're like getting ripped to shreds, and the termites are kind of scary. The other thing was The Return to Oz. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
That movie was insane.
I know of it.
We rented it from the library, and then like 20 minutes into it, we're all like, screaming. My mom's pulling it out as fast as possible. But my horror experience, my horror TV, it came, like, the things that actually terrified me, okay, were Halloween episodes of
sitcoms,
family sitcoms.
Roseanne,
I never had cable. Okay, so never saw that one. There's an episode of Family Matters where Steve Urkel has his dummy. It's like a ventriloquist dummy. Yeah, called Stevel.
Oh my god, dude!
I was screaming on that episode because it's scary. The dummy comes to life, starts killing everybody one by one. I think Eddie, the brother or whatever, like looks into in the chimney and he's like Santa, and then he gets pulled up in there. Dude, I remember running to my room during that scene. The other one that terrified me the most was Boy Meets World. It was when they were older. It was when they were like college age, and there's like one that's kind of like almost like a Scream esque character of them wearing like a skull mask or whatever, who's like killing everybody. I watched those like semi recently, and they're hilarious. Yeah, and I'm like,
classic show.
I was terrified. So my introduction into horror,
our difference in upbringing is astonishing,
dude. I mean, yeah, you were in daycare watching freaking, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, not quite at daycare, but that's not too far off. So I've got 3 stories that come to mind.
Okay.
We did a whole episode about R-rated movies and the figures based on those movies, and I told a couple stories about RoboCop and Aliens and having watched some incredibly violent stuff at a very early age. Mm-hmm. The very first one that comes to mind, I don't know how it lays out chronologically, because it legitimately traumatized me for years. And I've told you this story. I don't think it was on the podcast, but I've got an older brother, a half brother, and
I never knew that.
And there's only been very small intermittent times in my life that we were around each other, but when I was around 5 was one of those times. His dad lived in another town that was like out in the woods, and we went to his dad's house to spend a weekend or whatever, or a night. And my older brother, when I was 5, showed me the movie Pet Sematary. And I'm in the woods and somewhere I've never been with like a guy that I don't really know. And legitimately traumatized. I didn't sleep until I was 7. Like, just real bad news. But it didn't deter me at all. I liked being scared. I don't know. It's weird.
See, that's like a character of somebody who is like, for me, it's like I didn't want to be scared. I ran from it so hard. Like, I mean, like that was my reputation at the time. It was just like a scaredy cat.
I loved it,
but
dude.
You were scared. You still didn't sleep, but you loved it, though.
So I did have cable, and Nightmare on Elm Street was on cable all the time. And I would, when I was in this 5 to 7 and beyond time period, when I'm not sleeping because I have nightmares about Pet Sematary, I am watching Nightmare on Elm Street on purpose at night by myself in the dark, certain that when the commercial comes, that if I don't jump off the bed and sprint to the bathroom and power wash the inside of the toilet and sprint back and jump into the bed, that Freddy's going to kill me. But I'm also trying to get back before the rest of the movie starts.
I don't. It's this paradox of duality of man.
And then two other times where I really remember being like messed up. Both concern my being at my mom's house, because she's the exact opposite of your mom. She just had no business trying to shelter a kid. She would put up the least amount of resistance. The first one was Child's Play. Chucky. She owned it on VHS. And I wanted to watch it. And she said, no, it's too scary for you. And I said, please. And she said, okay. And then she put it into the VCR and she went to bed.
Wow.
And just left me in her living room in the dark, watch the whole movie, then go sleep in her guest room in the dark on a waterbed. And just lay there wide awake the entire night, terrified, listening to road noise.
Oh my god, just you basically out on the middle of an ocean, just...
Yep. Yeah, just terrified. Like, I have to pee. I am not getting out of this bed. I'm not doing it.
Oh my god.
This very well may have been the same weekend, or not, I don't know. But there is another day where she wants to show me the movie Christine, which is about a killer car.
Yes, okay.
That like comes back to life and possesses the guy that drives it, and it's a goofy movie. It really is goofy.
It's like a Stephen King, right?
It's a Stephen King book, and it's directed by John Carpenter, so it's like a perfect blend with the music and the tone. It's a goofy movie, but when you're a kid, it's scary. And then I remember we watched that during the day, and then she was like, "Come with me to the store." And we just went and got in her car, and I just remember sitting the whole way to the store, looking at every knob and the door handle and just waiting for it to try to kill me.
Oh my god!
Yeah, as a kid,
dude. I mean, you brought up Child's Play, which I've never seen any Chucky movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But Chucky was an entity amongst young, like kids my age at the time. Like everything was Chucky. Like Chucky's gonna get you.
Yeah.
And I never seen a Chucky movie in my life, but I would just dare myself to walk through the horror section at Blockbuster.
Just walking down the horror section, just looking at the covers. We've all been there,
dude. And I remember watching the Chucky one, and Chucky used to torment my life, and I never even knew the guy.
Never even met the guy.
But that's what's so funny, man. And I remember like scary stories used to be a thing. Like people would tell these scary, like everybody would have these scary stories that they would tell, but it would be like, oh, I know this one. Like people would just know it somehow. Like it's not like it was today where like things are being spread throughout social media, but like everybody had the same kind of scare.
Somehow they knew it.
Somehow they knew it. And I remember one time being at a friend's house, and he told this story about a werewolf that came into some people's house, and basically like the idea was the werewolf like snuck into the house, crawled up this kid's like bunk bed, and then just smiled at the kid, and for some reason traumatized me, and I was probably like 15 or 16. And
that's even scarier than Family Matters.
That's what I'm saying. And I lied awake for 6 hours that night. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw the sun come up. And it sucked so bad because I had a blanket that was too small, but I was too scared to have my feet like come out of the blanket because I'm like, the freaking werewolf's gonna grab it. So I just had to like scrunch underneath it the whole time, and I was burning up 120 degrees. And then just like finally the sun came up, and then just all fear left, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? So, dude, God, I love it. Too funny, man.
I love it.
Too funny.
Yeah, get at us. Let us know your scary movie stories from when you were a kid, your costume stories, whatever Halloween memories you've got at Mighty Champions.
They're squirmy and wormy and purple and green, the grossest little creatures that you've ever seen.
Creepy crawlers.
Build a monster mold with the colored plastic goop and make a creepy crawler from a yucky monster soup. They're yucky, squirmy, wormy, very scary, sometimes hairy, squiggly, wiggly, creepy crawling.
Creepy crawlers.
Gross out your sister, embarrass your dad. You can be a little creep without being bad.
Creepy Crawlers Workshop with Plastic Goof.
All right, it is time to do Toy Line Resurrection. We have done this before. Basically what it is we've selected a toy line that we like and appreciate, that is defunct, that died somewhere along the way, that is deceased, that's 6 feet underground. What other Halloween terms can we use? And we're gonna go over how we would handle bringing it back. So stuff that's getting brought back right now, like real Ghostbusters or Mad Balls or something like that, that doesn't count. Already coming back. So something that is still presently dead. What do you got?
So I was initially going to go with one line because when you brought this up, I was like, that's funny. Like I wasn't super familiar with horror toys. Like there wasn't something that I was drawn to when I was younger, right? And I feel like the 80s had like the biggest boom of those things, like Mad Balls and like some of the other things that you were talking about. And so I'm like racking my brain. And then when we're at the gym talking about it, I'm like, oh wait, I remember going into KB Toys And the Marvel section, like where Toy Biz, you got the X-Men movie in particular, which is exactly what I'm looking at. But like right next to it is what I believe to be the McFarlane like movie maniacs.
Yeah.
And like I forget what they're called, like the haunted fairy tales or something like that.
That are terrifying.
They're horrifying,
Yeah.
dude. Horrifying. So I'm like looking at the X-Men toys and like 30-second bursts because I gotta like take a break and go run around the corner because I'm like
Because they're
literally just staring
the
at
haunted
me.
fairy tales are looking at you.
Exactly. And I remember being over there like looking at them and it's just like literally gory, like beyond belief. Like you got heads, like ripped out skulls with the spines hanging onto it. I'm assuming some of it was also Spawn because I feel like that was probably like peak like gore kind of Spawn territory. I mean, I think the Spawn movie had come out a couple years prior or whatever. And I remember being there, and then again, tying it back to my mom about like my mom coming around the corner, and I was like, oh God, she's gonna see these toys. She's gonna tell me to go look somewhere else, but I'm trying to look. And then I noticed that there's a Jean Grey figure from the movie, which Samantha has, but she's wearing like the tight leather with like super crazy cleavage, which I saw that too, and I was like, God dang it! Like I'm gonna have to get pulled from this anyway. So I initially was going to go with a McFarlane. I guess like movie maniacs or whatever that line was. But then for me, actually, I thought, because you had like, you brought up the fact of like actually going and like, would I collect them? And I wouldn't collect those. I'm not a horror guy. Yeah. I don't want that graphic, gruesome thing, which by the way, I noticed that Samantha has that Fly figure from the movie The Fly.
She does?
Did you see that? I thought you saw that whenever. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Which that's from a McFarlane movie Maniacs thing or whatever. They
Great
did.
movie.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whatever, all those other ones.
Yeah.
But that was pretty interesting. But I decided to go with Small Soldiers. And hear me out.
I'm listening.
Hear me out. Dude, the Gorgonites are kind of scary.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That movie has toys that come to life that are literally trying to kill people. Not a horror movie, but like the Barbies have like shaved heads and stuff like that.
Okay.
But like because I'm not a horror guy, and because I love that movie and I love those toys, and also the guy that's filling in drumming for us for the show tomorrow had some Small Soldiers toys, so that just kind of rang my bell a little bit, and I started thinking about that, started looking into them, and I'm like, man, like the Gorgonites, you know, even the freaking Commando Elites or whatever they're kind of freaky looking. So in my opinion, I would probably say like if I saw those on the shelf right now, I'd be kind of fired up on them, man.
Okay. So how do you go about bringing them back?
Honestly, I think they would do fantastic. I personally think right now, I think before they were Kenner, but also like at the time that Kenner got Botten. I've said Botten on here 3 or 4 times, dude. Christian, I did my own Ernest series, except it's Christian.
Christian P. Worrell.
Back to school.
Christian goes to school.
Yeah, but they were, I think they were both like Hasbro and Kenner. Okay. Yeah. But I think if Hasbro probably still has the rights maybe, or they do Kenner again, I think if they brought them back, I believe that they would be.
So you work at Hasbro.
Yeah.
And you're tasked with relaunching Toy Soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
How do you go about it? Like, what is it? Is it look exactly the same? Is it like, okay, let's get another movie going first?
So I thought about the movie thing, and I'm like, I really think you could do another one. I really do.
It's got an audience.
Because what I would do,
it's still on my list of things to go back to. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, no, it's really worth the watch. And I believe it does have like diehard fans.
It does, for sure.
I think you do, because, you know, it's set where the kid's his dad owns a toy store, but it's like old toys, the toys that you and I hate, where it's like a freaking bucket with a cork in it, and then has wheels. You know what I'm saying?
It's bendy metal with a loop of wood on it.
Exactly. And then he gets the Order of Action figures. But what's kind of crazy about that is like, it's like, man, like that was in the time where like toys were everything. So they make the movie about it, which was so perfect, because then they could just be like, well, now we're just going to make those toys, and now people are going to love those toys. But I think you do it, you maybe have like a thing, a story for a new movie. You have collectors, right? Like, it's a vintage movie. Maybe when they came back out, it'd be like two guys that are like, man, I really
Is the
love
toys hunting us down?
No, they're hunting those toys. Oh, okay. Right? And somebody has them in a shelf or whatever, like in boxes, like, and then, whatever, another thing ensues. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that would be a good idea, but obviously it could stay sacred. But what I would do is I would make him to scale, right? Like the Archer toy that I had, like Archer, the leader of the Gorgonites, right? I would probably make him, because they were all different scales. Like they have like smaller ones, they have tall ones, and then they have like the actual ones were pretty big. They were like 12-inch scale, 10-inch or whatever, like the Justice League. So I probably would start with those first. I'd probably like release...
The big ones?
The big ones.
Okay.
I think if you put the big ones out, you have the exact same packaging. You put it at Target, gone. Yeah. I think it would be gone. I think they'd be on eBay for $120, whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they would struggle whatsoever. And then you just go from there if you want to. I mean, like they do it with turtles. Like the amount of turtle vehicles that are getting remade right now that are just like... the Burgermobile or whatever. It's like people are going to buy that.
Quite a different cultural impact, but yes.
Yeah, it is. But I still think that right now we live in the era where people are just thirsty and hungry for nostalgia. And I think we're getting even closer to a point where, us being in the toy aisle is not, you're not going to have that many grandmas coming up to you with a switchblade microphone, putting it up to your neck, right? Anytime I go into Target, I walk past the Lego section, right? It's always like people in my same sort of age bracket that are like couples with disposable income.
It's like, I've mentioned this before. I don't have kids. I don't work where there's kids. My friends don't have kids. So when I go to Target or Walmart or wherever and there are kids, it's weird to me. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't happen that often.
Exactly.
During the summertime, more so. But, like, I have to, like, be reminded that kids exist and that toys are for kids. Yep. Because I'm, like, my first thought is, like, ugh, get out of the way.
Yeah, they're usually, like, they have something that I would be like, I would never play with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it would work really well.
There's definitely an audience for small soldiers. And it's, like I said, it's on my list of things to rewatch. And every time I watch any kind of YouTube video of somebody doing like a vintage toy store, hunt or whatever, it comes up every single time. So like there's definitely an audience for it.
It's wild because the movie just gave you the like blueprints, right? Like the movie is just like, oh, this is what the packaging looks like. Yeah. And then they're like, okay, well, we're
toys,
just
the movie.
Yeah, and then they're just gonna make that and put it on the shelves. And like I never had a major chip hazard, but somehow I never bought one, but somehow I got one, and I don't know.
Tommy Lee Jones?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And then I have no idea where it even came from or whatever, but it was like the full scale version of it. Had the belt. The belt was like you push it and it turns green or whatever, and it's like I'm Tommy Lee Jones.
When I was in maybe 6th grade or 7th grade, I had a project in, I don't know what class this was, somewhere in some class, and it was the project was to teach you marketing and advertising. Mm-hmm. And you were supposed to develop a product, then develop a pitch for that product. And my buddy and I got I think what you're talking about, the Gorgonite.
The Gorgonites, yeah.
He's like a brown guy.
He's
like a brown monster.
There's Insaniac, there's Slam, no, I'm about to quote, freaking Street Sharks.
Are you even saying real words?
Yes, look.
He's like a brown monster.
Oh, it is Slam Fist. Insaniac, Punch It, Frankenstein, which may have been Frankenstein, the big one that's like, Sanctuary.
Yeah, he looks like the dog. He looks like, he's like brown and he has kind of like a kind face.
Oh, that's Archer. Archer's the leader.
He's
the Archer.
Okay, yeah. So we took him, right? Okay. Then we took a bunch of my action figures, accessory, guns, and whatever, and glued it onto him, and basically covered him in armor and weapons. We made the War Machine version of him.
Freaking awesome.
And his name was El Babo. and the product was home protection.
Okay.
And that was what we took into class and pitched was that guy. I think the toy came from Taco Bell.
Amazing.
If I remember correctly. And then
Probably.
we just covered him in weapons and accessories with super glue, and then that was our El Babo home protection.
I like it. Yeah, now I'm looking at some of them that they came in 6-inch and 12-inch versions.
Yeah, okay.
The 12-inch was based off the movie, which is what I would go with. They were,
So in the movie they're 12-inch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And look at freaking Jingle All the Way with Turbo Man.
Yeah. I have a turbo.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's nestled safely under the tree.
Exactly. So yeah, dude, that's what I would do. Again, if you look back at what those characters look like, they're spooky. They're spooky enough.
Love
so.
it. And remind me, we're talking about a town that gets basically invaded. Is that what we're working with?
They are I want these toys to be state of the art, and so they use a chip that would be used for I think a missile, and they start producing those chips and putting them inside the toys.
So what's the dilemma of the movie?
It's Gorgonites versus the
dilemma is the only ones that are aware of the dilemma are the toys themselves.
No, the kid and Kirsten Dunst's character, they're alive.
Are they under attack?
By the commando elites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They're building weapons and stuff like that to try to go attack the Gorgonites.
Oh, the Tommy Lee Jones, those are the bad guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Man, you haven't seen it in a long time.
No, it's been a very
Holy
long
crap,
time.
You need to rewatch.
I just love Tommy Lee Jones, so I presumed he was the good guy.
They kind of try to paint that picture, but those characters are
okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. But that's why they
I'm just trying to put it into a scary context. I'm trying to understand, how it's scary. But... but I do want to, and I'm jonesing to watch it.
No, I think if you rewatch it again, you'll be all right, this fits. Because literally, there's a scene where Barbies have butcher knives or whatever that trying to kill Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, that's what I'm asking. Yeah. Then absolutely.
Yeah, they turn on him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a town under siege by toys.
A handful of characters. Yeah.
With a low budget.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, so for mine, I have got basically all the way through to a finished product.
Okay.
Right, what it looks like in package and how it's released and all of that sort of stuff. So the last time I did Mission Impossible, right? Because I genuinely made an attempt to get Hasbro to do this. I actually pitched it to Hasbro.
Right.
It went nowhere. But in my business mind, I thought to myself, that's a money-making endeavor. That's money hand over fist. Hasbro disagreed or never saw it.
Yeah.
This one...
Or is currently still your idea.
Yeah. This one, I don't actually think would really be that popular. But I think it's cool. You'll think it's cool. Our listeners will think it's cool. But I don't think that many people in the Gen Pop actually would know or care. So let me back up a little bit here. A couple episodes ago, I did my personal top 10 Kenner lines. And I did research of basically everything that Kenner had really produced. I forget what website I was using that had a list of the major ones.
ChatGPT.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was I don't remember what it was. Okay. It was just some wiki.
Okay.
I think it was Kenner Wiki or something like
Gotcha.
that. And I gave a list of honorable mentions. And I don't remember, I genuinely don't remember, and I didn't go back and check if this was in the honorable mentions or not. And it wouldn't have made my top 10 even if I had registered that it existed. But until I started doing research for this topic, in my mind, I did not know it existed.
Wow.
I didn't know that the cartoon that it was based on existed.
Okay.
Even though when I watched an episode of it this morning, because I woke up super early, which, by the way, woof. But I was blown away that I didn't know about this. 1991 Kenner Swamp Thing. Dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I watched an episode of the cartoon today. The theme song is a reproduction of the song Wild Thing. You make my heart sing. Swamp Thing, you are amazing.
Oh my god.
And then that plays throughout the episode.
Oh my god.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Wow.
But basically it sets up and I love Swamp Thing. Mm-hmm. I watched the 80s movie
Yeah.
when I was a kid. I watched the 90s TV series when I was a kid.
I didn't know there was a TV series. I knew about the movie.
USA Network.
Wow.
I used to watch the behind the scenes making of, and the actor being like, when it gets wet, the suit weighs 200 pounds and all this kind of stuff. I watched the 2019, DC Universe CW show. Like I've read the Alan Moore stuff and the Scott Snyder. I love Swamp Thing. He was my main on Injustice too. Like, I love Swamp Thing.
Yeah, he's an amazing character.
But I went and looked at the figures. The show sucks, but it made great figures. So you have Anton Arcane, Bayou Jack, Dr. Demo, Skin Man, Swamp Thing Bioglow, Swamp Thing Camouflage, Swamp Thing Capture, Swamp Thing Climbing, Swamp Thing Snap Up, Swamp Thing Snare Arm, Tomahawk Weed Killer, and then there's playsets and vehicles like Bayou Blaster, Bog Rover, Marsh Buggy, Swamp Trap, and the Transducer, which is like the lab that turned him into Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of the T2 bio plant.
Gotcha.
That sort of thing. So you can... The box is awesome. The figures are awesome. Super playability. All the Kenner-ness of it all. Log bazookas and...
God,
like
amazing.
nets made out of vines.
Yeah.
And like bad guy... All the bad guys are basically just a regular bad guy. Then remember those little like spiders you put on your finger, the like wiggly rubber things? They have a mask that's those things that slips over the top of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so like just cool playability stuff.
And it's funny because it's like, technically, it's like not a horror type character, but then they made it that way.
Oh,
We're like,
I think it is.
yeah, I mean, he fights like crazy, like demons and like.
Yeah, it's about hell.
Yeah.
It's about dying, right? It's about the rot.
Yeah.
And it's very much bio horror. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
No, I
it's
think
an
it's cool.
environmental story and it's a love story, but it's also it's an alchemy story. It's horror. Like
Yeah.
the first movie is directed by Wes Craven.
Wow.
Like and then when Scott Snyder did it, that's horror.
Yeah.
Like, that's straight up horror. So here's my idea to resurrect Swamp Thing as a toy line. We'll just presume that it's Mattel. So let's say it's going to happen in summer of 26
Okay.
when Mattel takes it over. What I want to copy is the NECA Predator line, the one that I started collecting.
Yeah.
Because they will release, well, they did release, this wave is based on movies. This wave is based on homage to the previous toy line.
Ooh,
This toy line is homage to the comics in this specific era. This line is homage to comics from this other era. So that's what I'm thinking.
No,
Right?
I think that's amazing.
And here's what we have to pull from is like the OG like Len Wein comics from like 71 to 74, the Wes Craven movie, the Alan Moore run, the Return of Swamp Thing movie, the USA Network series, the cartoon series that I'm talking about that's crap. He appeared in Justice League Unlimited.
Yes.
Right? We can throw him in there. Batman Brave and the Bold. He was in there. Injustice 2. And then the newest DC Universe show. Right? Like, and that's not even remotely everything.
Right.
Like, but like you do that same packaging and that same look as these Predator figures that NECA did before the Ultimates and just make a wave based on an iteration or a property.
I absolutely think that would do amazing.
I
I think there's a massive Swamp Thing fan base.
There is, but is there a big Abby Arcane fan base?
I mean, I think if you have the carding in the same way that those are, which by the way, last night watching the Toy Federation podcast, and they're talking about horror toys, and I was like, those sons of guns got there first before we did. One of them mentioned Swamp Thing, and I was like, that's the one I'm going to do. And then I said, son of a gun, I bet you John's going to get there.
Really?
And then literally I woke up this morning, I think, and I saw you with the Swamp Thing post, and I was like, you son of a gun. But I think that if you have... I think that would... for sure, she'd probably end up at Ross. But
I think it could be figures. I don't think it would honestly, like, genuinely survive as a line. Because Swamp Thing is pretty, like, cult classic. It's not that mainstream.
Man, if you make... I mean, look at some of the... I mean, like, look at if you look at what McFarlane is doing right now with like some of those super deep cut characters, like I think you could do it.
I'd be a customer for sure, right? So you have like Alec Holland / Swamp Thing. You could do him as like scientist guy. Also, you could pull the characters from the cartoon, like BioJack and Dr. Demo, Skin Man, Tomahawk, Weed Killer.
Yeah.
Do those in the same way that you see now, where companies will take the old kind of vintage figures and then modernize them, but still keep them goofy, like the real Ghostbusters that are coming out right now. But then in all these other properties that I'm talking about, video games, movies, in a more modern, updated way, you could do Abby Arcane and Anton Arcane and like the Rot, and you could even throw in Animal Man and John Constantine and Zatanna and Deadman and Spectre and Etrigan the Demon and like these Justice League Dark kind of Swamp Thing buddies. You know what I mean? Like, I would be a customer for sure.
I look at the Ghost Rider, I look at the X-Men, like obviously those are big characters, but I think if you had that carding, or maybe if they did like a
well, if you remember when we were fantasy casting how Mattel should release them, that's what I said was do what Hasbro does with Ghost Rider or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be a non-stop line. You could just put out one or two here and there over the course of a decade.
Exactly. I mean, if you think about how Marvel Legends puts out certain characters, a lot of the times, like if we watch those live streams, we look at it and both of us are just like, who the heck is that? Or why would anybody want that? So toy lines are not afraid to make BS characters.
That's true. Yeah.
Right?
And you're not...
and I think because there's a crossover into the horror spectrum, I think that also has more buy-in, especially if you make like really good detailed in the same way that those NECA figures are, like not super bright colors, but just like pretty like
depending on what the property is, right? So these NECA Predators, the ones I have on my wall, which are from the movies, they look like almost photoreal in color. They don't really pop.
Yeah.
But the same line did homage to the Kenner toy line.
Right.
Those ones do. They're very bright and colorful and they pop, right? So you could do that with this. You could homage the Kenner line and make that the bio one that glows and all that. That could be really, really, really bright. But if you're doing in that same wave one based on the 2019 CW show, that one probably wouldn't be as bright.
Yeah.
Right? Like that sort of stuff. So they kind of cover the whole spectrum.
Exactly.
Like, I would be a customer day one.
Yeah.
For sure. Love Swamp Thing.
You do Blue Devil, like a lot of those, like, kind of like obscure, like B-rated DC, kind of like, DC mystic kind of type characters.
Yeah.
Man, I'm in. Yeah. I'm fired up on that. So,
all right, cool.
Literally would collect both lines that we just pitched right now. So
I'm jonesing to watch Small Soldiers and Swamp Thing.
Watch it over the weekend and report back next week.
Will do. All right, let's get to the news.
Well, LexCorp's going down. Whether it's me or Superman, who does it?
If it's Superman, that makes it news, and I'll be happy to print it.
It is a relatively small, slow news week for us. I think coming out of New York Comic Con a couple weeks ago, and then I think London has some kind of thing going on as we speak. So maybe some stuff will drop since I curated this stuff. But basically what I'm seeing here is, we'll start with McFarlane like we often do, is they have been showing off this week their Fallout stuff. I'm not really a Fallout guy, but I'm not opposed to Fallout either. I just didn't play the games and I haven't watched the show. But from what I understand, people absolutely love it. And these toys are based on the TV show.
Right.
So they've got Cooper Howard, they've got Hank McLean, they've got Steph Harper, Lucy, Deathclaw.
Which I think that's a spoiler because I watched the show and that's not in the show yet.
Oh.
So I think it's the upcoming, not really a spoiler, they show like a skull or something like that of one of those.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. I did like the show. But yeah, seeing like the big giant horned demon looking thing.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Securitron, which is like a robot. Maximus. They got like tons. The Ghoul. This is a huge line.
Yeah.
And these are exclusives at various places. So I think they're all up for pre-order already. So if you guys are stoked on Fallout and you want to chase these down, do your due diligence. They're all over the place. Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, Walmart. I'm seeing them pretty much everywhere. McFarlane also put out today, which has kind of swept my timeline. I guess Batmobile summer continues because they put up the 1966 Batmobile, like the classic Batmobile. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's not a scale Adam West.
No, there are, yeah.
That are just regular. I know there's like Bermuda shorts and...
No, I think they do have that, yeah.
In the Universe Classic scale.
Oh, Universe Classics?
Or, sorry, the Multiverse.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I've seen several of those. They do... Oh, wait.
I don't think there's a Adam West Multiverse.
I think if you look...
I could be wrong.
Yeah. So I follow a guy that collects a lot of the McFarlane stuff, but he has a photo actually right now that I'm looking at that has the Adam West Batman in the...
Okay, so there's a regular inside the car.
Yeah.
Let me see that.
He's got the little like mouth breathing thing in there, but...
Yeah, I don't think there's regular ones.
I bet you there is, man.
I don't think there's standard regular without any Bermuda shorts, mouthpiece, shark spray.
Rainbow colored.
I don't know if there's a standard 66 Batman and Robin. Get at me at Mighty Champions. I would rather be wrong about that. And if they're not, they're on the way.
Yeah.
Knowing McFarlane, they'll announce them as soon as we're done recording. Then from NECA, since it's Halloween, they showed off some Texas Chainsaw Massacre Ultimates that are coming up that I believe are both from the second movie, which is Leatherface and Chop Top, which if you're a fan of those things, those look pretty good, as NECA always does. And then there's a Godzilla coming out from Playmates that I thought was pretty cool. The Rockin' Battle Godzilla. And Mezco showed off their Red Hood, which I believe is up for pre-order already. Looks freaking great. Like, as all the Mezco ones do. It has like a broken helmet and a regular helmet.
Sick.
Looks absolutely awesome. And then the last thing that I've got is from Mezco, which is the Casey Jones, the one with the American flag mask. Looks really fun.
Yeah, that one looks really cool. Comes with a lot of accessories.
Yeah.
Like 4 baseball bats.
Yeah.
4 hockey sticks or some golf clubs.
Yeah, looks like
bat.
Looks like a really good time. And then I guess actually the real last thing is, did you see the new Hasbro HasLab crowdfund for Tron?
Oh no.
$250 Tron light up display. It's 3 3/4 figures on a display with the light bikes that has like an LED. You have to like plug it in. It's like somewhere between toy and statue. $250 when they just announced that Tron is dead as a series. They said we're never doing this again.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to care about that. I legitimately don't think anybody.
I mean, there are people in this world who care very deeply about Tron. I don't know that that's a thing. $250 for that. But in all fairness, we've kind of poo-pooed every HasLab.
We have, and some of them we were kind of right about until they got like a final push. But that one, I don't know anybody that is collecting that or thinking about that.
Yeah, that's basically the news. Now it's time for the main event, the mission report.
Get ready for thrilling action when evil unmen battle Swamp Thing. Who can stop them from destroying the Earth?
Swamp Thing!
Watch them turn into evil unmen to battle Snare Arm Swamp Thing.
You're no match for my mighty Snare Arm! But I am!
Is he doomed?
No, now I'm a different Swamp Thing. I'm BioGlow. The Earth is safe.
BioGlow and Snare Arm, each sold separately. Swamp Thing, guardian of the Earth.
All right, if you guys are new to the show and you missed the last mission report, this is the riskiest segment that we do on this show. Reason being, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So what it is we have gotten AI to make us a mission, right? And Christian's got the mission, the physical mission in his hand. No one has seen this. I haven't read it. You haven't read it. I had a third-party human being print it out, fold it up, put it in an envelope. In theory, The mission will give us reason to come up with 5 action figures with the correct accessories and abilities and, I don't know, attitudes or whatever to accomplish said mission.
And we didn't plan these, right?
Unlike
the other ones where we research and do the stuff,
We've
right?
not discussed this one bit ahead of time. We don't know who, what, where, when, and why. He's about to open this envelope. He's about to read this mission, and we have no clue what it is or what we're going to have to come up with in order to execute this mission.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready for it.
You got your mission reading voice on?
I have the... it's in a yellow envelope, which makes
as all missions should be.
As they should be. All right, here we go. Oh.
Is it 2 pages?
2 pages. All right, here we go. I'm kind of nervous. The last one was challenging. All right, here we go. We got the Mighty Champions Halloween Mission Report. Operation Shadow Veil.
Oh, I love it.
Top secret, eyes only. Mission date, October 31st. Threat level, midnight black. Deployment.
That sounds bad.
I know. Deployment zone, Ravenloft Ridge Asylum. In parentheses, condemned site number 13. The 13th.
Laying it on thick.
I am. Okay, here we go. The objective. The ancient asylum. Ancient, they had them back in the Greek mythology. The ancient asylum on Ravenloft Ridge was meant to be sealed forever. But last night, a blackout triggered a breach in the subterranean vaults beneath the site. 5 entities escaped containment. Each one carries a fragment of a sigil that, when complete, will open a permanent portal to the Veil Realm, a spectral dimension home to the Forgotten.
Yes.
Capitalized. The Forgotten. If the Veil opens fully, our world will fall into endless darkness by the blood moon. You must enter the asylum, recover all 5 sigil fragments, which I'm hoping I'm saying that word right.
I think you are, yeah.
And reseal the vault before sunrise. So we have a timeline.
Okay.
Requirements. Assemble a squad of 5 action figures, any scale or brand. Each must contribute a unique skill set, accessory, or trait vital to mission success, in parentheses, paranormal tracking, ghost containment, necro combat, light-based weaponry, etc. The squad must work as a unit. Lone wolf operatives will fail.
Okay.
Restrictions. To prevent a power imbalance, the following character types are disqualified from the selection. Any figure with godlike magical abilities, Dr. Fate, Scarlet Witch, Spawn, etc.
Dang, Spawn was already on my mind.
Dang. Any character who can manipulate time or dimension, Loki, Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange.
Okay.
A couple of those. Any figure with a one-shot ghost demon wipe mechanic.
Huh?
I don't know. Anything with infinite ghost traps, holy grenades.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
On to the next page. Ooh, this one's tough. No Mephistos, no Spectres, no multiverse resets. This must be a fight won through tactics, tools, and teamwork.
Okay.
All right. Environmental hazards. Black fog. Visual range reduced to 6 feet. Light sources flicker and fade unpredictably. Ectoplasmic static. Radios, trackers, and electronics fail in random bursts. Analog is preferred.
Okay.
Possessed inmates.
Okay, I'm
12 plus reanimated patients roam the halls. Each one is tethered to a different entity. They can only be neutralized with specific accessories, UV blades, proton bursts, enchanted shackles, mirror fiends. Reflections become traps after midnight. Any figure relying on mirror-based powers is compromised. Critical tasks. Number 1. survive entry and breach the main gate. Number 2, locate all 5 sigil fragments, each guarded by an escaped entity. Number 3, avoid permanent corruption. Number 4, perform the rite of severance before 6 a.m. They never told us what that is. What is that?
That sounds like a pop culture reference that both of us don't get.
Okay. Failure to complete the ritual will allow the Veil realm to fully merge with our own. Mission codename Shadow Veil. Status active.
Okay. So, I think we have a pretty good idea of who's out,
Yes.
right? Dr. Fate, Scarlet Witch, Spawn was like, in my mind, I was like, that's the guy. Loki, Silver Surfer,
Doctor
Strange for sure are out. And then what did it say that what we definitely needed was paranormal tracking, ghost containment, necro combat, light-based weaponry, etc. Okay, so I think what we definitely need is a light source, right? Because what do we have? Evil fog or whatever.
Yes, black fog.
Black fog. So we need a light source. So let's start with that. So
okay.
I just mentioned glow in the dark swamp thing.
I was like, we have to throw Swamp Thing in there.
We've got glow in the dark swamp. I think it's called Bio Glow.
Okay.
Is the Kenner
Yes.
Swamp Thing. There's also a glow in the dark Undertaker.
Okay.
Right? So if we're taking Undertaker's fictional power set, he can control lightning, right?
Okay.
And you can't kill him.
Okay.
Right? He's already
Did they say we weren't allowed to have
undead meat wizard?
Didn't they say we had let's see. I think they said we weren't allowed to use, because that wouldn't be considered godlike if you can't be killed.
No,
right?
he's not godlike.
Okay.
Yeah, he's less than godlike. Oh, well, he's the Lord of Darkness. Let's just go with Swamp Thing.
Okay, Swamp Thing it is.
Yeah, so BioGlow Swamp Thing and all the things that. Let me see what he comes with and what's hopeful there. What else did we need?
So
we need somebody who can seriously go on the offense also.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's necro combat, which means like something that can kill something that might be already dead.
So do we need? It sounds like we need at least one Ghostbuster too, because they've
Ghost
got
containment.
They've got a one-time use, right? Because it said it can't be infinite. Ghost containment. So we need a Ghostbuster in there.
Okay.
We can figure out which one specifically. See, BioGlow Swamp Thing comes with Log Bazooka. Actually a Water Blaster.
Okay.
No, I'm looking at the wrong figure here. But yeah, okay. So I guess any one of the Ghostbusters,
Well, I mean, which one's your favorite?
I like Bill Murray.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the most fitted personality-wise to go up against something this scary?
Well, let's look at the real Ghostbusters because they have accessories that might come in handy here. Then what were the other
paranormal tracking, necro combat, and then the light-based weaponry?
So let's go with Egon because he has the tracker thing, the little whoop 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 thing. So he's going to be able to find everything. He's got the proton pack, right? So he could take down specters and paranormal things with the proton pack.
Okay.
It's what did they say? Not digital.
Right, it's analog.
It's analog, right? So it's not gonna fail. And then he's got the trap, right? So we definitely need him on the team.
Okay, so we have a light-based weaponry, which is going to be Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing is a weapon,
yes.
Right?
And then we have the paranormal tracking and the ghost containment in the Ghostbuster, right?
Yes.
And so we need the necro combat.
Necro combat without using Spawn.
So if we weren't able to, let me see. Okay, so I mean Constantine.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So he's like deals with this stuff.
Yeah.
So if we go with Constantine, let me see. If
What
I can find
figures? I can't even, like, probably just a McFarlane, right?
Nah, I'm going DC Direct.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Let's see if we can find
I've
one.
offended your people.
All right, DC Direct Constantine. So we got the Hellblazer. Let's see here. So there was DC Direct Vertigo line, John Constantine Hellblazer. So that one, let me see if it comes with anything in particular. I think it's just him by himself, which we all know the character. He might actually come with like some things that he stands on. But I think if we go with Constantine, we got a guy who's deals with this type of stuff, right? He knows Swamp Thing, so that's another thing.
Yeah, so we got the teamwork, which is definitely going to be necessary.
Although the McFarlane Page Puncher does come with like a little like magic sort of hand type thing, but I kind of like the idea of the Hellblazer one. Like it comes from the line Hellblazer. I think that was that.
Just
peak.
sounds.
It sounds cooler. Peak Hellblazer Constantine. Yeah, man. I think we go with him.
Okay, so looking at the objectives, we need to do the Rite of Severance, and I just looked it up. Rite of Severance is a concept that appears in various fictional contexts, from a magical ritual to sever an indent's shackles to a formal process in a fantasy setting to unwind a powerful mage from their authority. The term can also refer to a phase of a rite of passage where a person is symbolically or actually separated from their old life. So basically, it's like undoing the ties to the mystic.
Okay. I mean,
I've got a wild pitch for you.
Okay, go for it.
And I know we've talked about this, and I can't remember what your feeling is on
All
it.
right.
The kid from Stranger Things, the guy that plays Master of Puppets.
Oh, Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie from Stranger Things.
Okay. That's interesting.
That's what he's doing when he plays Master of Puppets.
Interesting.
Right?
Okay.
Or is it just a distraction? Do I have that
I
wrong?
think it's a distraction.
Damn.
But that's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Well, we don't have any musical ties that we're aware of, so maybe he doesn't work.
Because I was thinking Constantine does read spells and have like a spell book and stuff like that, so that could be something that he also can accomplish. Because like he's not really a combat guy other than like the mystic and magical version of him, so he might be good for that. But we still might need to cover some like heavy hitters.
So what were the other? That sounds accurate to me. That John Constantine can perform the rite of severance before 6 a.m.
Exactly.
We need to avoid permanent corruption.
Okay.
Okay. We need to locate all 5 sigil fragments.
Okay.
So
who can be uncorrupted?
Uncorrupted?
Like can't be corrupted, right? We need somebody who can't be corrupted.
Is there any other like Justice League dark like Eragon the Demon? What's his name? Etrigan the Demon, or somebody along those lines.
I mean, Jason Blood, I think is the guy's name, is already corrupted. He's possessed. Like the demon is the curse that he bears.
I just want Eddie from Stranger Things because he's also adept at dealing with this sort of stuff.
I mean, let's do it.
I don't know if he's got a real figure though.
I think he does, but definitely look that up.
The ones that they just put out, I was watching Dan Who reviews the new Jax ones. The 11 might be the worst figure of the year. It was like vomit territory. Like, you gotta be kidding me.
Okay, so I have another thought process too. Somebody who can't be corrupted.
Okay, so the Eddie Bandai.
Okay.
We'll just throw him in there just because I think he's useful.
Okay. All right, I'm down for that. So we need somebody who, like I said, can't be corrupted. They said Silver Surfer is out, which he was corrupted by Galactus, I guess. I was thinking like Vision or somebody along those lines who's like kind of just like Vision picked up Captain America or Thor's hammer.
Yeah,
because
he's worthy, and but we've got the digital problems.
The digital problem. Okay.
Yeah, and he's a digital guy, digital man. So, man, the people that it got rid of really made this challenging for sure.
It does make it.
So what do we got? BioGlow Swamp Thing. We've got the DC Direct Constantine, and we've got Bandai Eddie from Stranger Things.
Right.
Just because I want him.
Yes.
I think he's good for morale. And we have somebody that can perform the rite of severance. We don't just need someone who can avoid permanent corruption. We need that person to be able to do that for everybody, right? So, is that just Constantine though?
Nah, because he's kind of like a loose. He's kind of like a loose cannon. I feel like I'm looking over here at the shelf and I see.
What other mystics do we have?
Well, we can't use Doctor Strange. That's off limits.
Yeah.
There's Zatanna.
That's not a bad shout.
She's a mystic, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
That could be cool.
Also, homies with Swamp Thing and Constantine.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's 5. Oh, that's 4.
That's 4.
Yeah, so we need one more.
Dude, let's just get glow-in-the-dark Undertaker.
Okay.
he's also, you have to survive entry and breach the main gate. Well, I think we need another powerhouse. So let me see exactly what figure that was. I want to say it was just like a single release elite.
Yes, even the title of the DC Direct Zatanna figure and the Hellblazer is Mages, Mystics, and Magicians.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Where's the... Maybe it's not called Glow in the Dark. What is... It's purple. I think we might have our team here. We just got to double check that we have all our rules taken care of.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's it's the Ghostbusters collection, WWE Elite Undertaker.
Wow, okay.
That's like translucent purple. Okay, so I don't know what the story is there with that crossover, but we're going to make the assumption that he's homies with Egon. So we get even more team up work right there. So yeah, we'll get the Ghostbusters crossover Elite Undertaker. We'll get the real Ghostbusters Egon.
Okay.
The BioGlow Swamp Thing. And then the
DC Direct Hellblazer Constantine and the DC Direct Zatanna.
Okay. I think we accomplished our mission here. I think we survive entry and breach the main gates. Yes.
Do the yes, exactly. And
locate all 5 sigil fragments, each guarded by an escaped entity.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can fight these entities
we can definitely fight them
pretty well. Avoid permanent corruption between Constantine and Zatanna. I think they can survive the backup, and between the two of them, I think we can do the rite of severance. I think we stopped Armageddon.
We did it before sunrise.
We did it before sunrise. All right, I'm happy with the team.
I'm
you
good
happy
with
with
it.
the team?
I'm good with it.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, that was the mission report for Operation Shadow Veil. That one was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wish it was like an episode of like a cartoon or something.
I know. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
Our plan, you guys, is just kind of a little peek behind the curtain, a little inside baseball, is to do these mission reports for holidays. Because I think it just makes it more fun for...
Ooh, that's a good idea.
For Thanksgiving, for Christmas, you know what I mean? We'll do these missions for that. I would love it if you guys sent us submissions.
Yeah, exactly.
If you sent them to mightychampionsafr@gmail.com, or if you sent them at Mighty Champions on Instagram. Email would probably be a little bit better if it's longer form, but however you guys want to get at us and send us missions, if you think of cool ones.
Or if you have any rebuttal to the ones that we had today.
If you thought of better ideas, or if there's something that you're just sitting there screaming at your phone going, you idiots, why didn't you think of this?
Exactly.
Let us know at Mighty Champions for sure. We're very interested. That was the episode. We love you guys, and we'll see you in a week. Peace.
Get ready for thrilling action when evil unmen battle Swamp Thing. Who can stop them from destroying the Earth?
Swamp Thing!
Watch them turn into evil unmen. The battle snare arm Swamp Thing.
You're no match for my mighty snare arm! But I am!
Is he doomed?
No, now I'm a different Swamp Thing! I'm BioGlow! The Earth is safe!
BioGlow and snare arm, each sold separately. Swamp Thing, guardian of the Earth.